Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. Today is the 18th of December, 2019. And let's get started and let's open up the charts right here and let's take a look at what's going on. Here's a big problem in the repo markets and in the repo financing. This chart right here, we can see that the Fed is losing control over this. They're dumping $500 billion of liquidity into the repo market. And the repo rate, the rate of the overnight rate, is still rising into December. It's not falling, and it's getting up around 4% overnight rate. Now, I'm going to explain it to you this way, and I'm going to use a little illustration. Say you had a big apartment building, and a lot of tenants live there. Say it's like 6 stories high, and there's hundreds of tenants in the apartment building. And all of a sudden, something happens in the apartment building to the plumbing downstairs or whatever, and the landlord says, "Everybody, don't flush your toilets or anything. We got a problem with the plumbing, and we got people in working on it." So everybody's confident. The guys are here, the plumbers here, and everything, and everybody's doing their business in their apartments, and not paying any too much attention to this plumbing problem. Because they figure, well, the landlord's going to take care of it. Everything should be fine, and they just obey what he told them, not to flush their toilet too much, and stuff like that. So a couple days pass, and nobody much pays much attention. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all the toilets in the apartment start backing up. Water and, well, more than just water, spilling all over the floor. The next thing you know, they call in the health department, and the inspector comes in and he says, "Oh my goodness, this is a mess. This is a health emergency. We're going to have to close everybody out of the apartment building. We're going to have to close the whole apartment building down." And all of a sudden, these people don't have a home. This is how a situation can escalate. Right now, in the repo market situation, very similar to that situation I explained in the apartment building. We're in the point where people aren't paying too much attention and they figure, well, the Fed's got it, But there's a problem in the plumbing of the world's financial system right now, and this problem is going unchecked, and the Fed doesn't have control over it. It's basically what I'm saying. We're at 4% overnight rate. They're dumping $500 billion in, and that rate's not coming down. The Fed's lost control. And this is the heart, this is the plumbing. And normally, a situation where plumbing goes bad, and like in the apartment building, it's normally not a big deal. But all of a sudden, it can become a big deal. It can become an emergency. And this thing is certainly not under control. Guys, this thing could lock up the heart of the financial system. It could lock up. It could be a freeze within the center of everything. The movement of money within the system. This is a big problem. And so that's what I'm trying to emphasize. Let's get on. Let's take a look at gold today. Gold's at 1473. You know what? Honest to gosh, look at this price smackdown. Of course, it's rebounding now, but I mean, with what's going on within the financial system, all this uncertainty, and gold being the really only safe haven asset. But they think treasuries are the big safe haven asset. Oh yeah, treasuries. They're all being herded. They're all being herded into equities and treasuries and stocks and bonds. It's ridiculous. It's like they're being herded in, and then all of a sudden, it's all gonna go crazy, and they're all gonna try to get out, and they're all gonna try to get into gold. But this is gonna be crazyville. Markets are gonna go nuts at a certain point. Right now, we've got a lockup or a freeze within the plumbing the very plumbing of the financial system, and nobody's paying any attention. Gold prices, they're staying 1474 is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let's take a look at silver. Under $17. Ridiculous. $16.93 today. And look, it was smacked down. They're putting it on sale right now. You know, we're going to look at this in the future, and not too distant in the future, too, and we're going to say, oh, my goodness, why didn't I get into some of that silver or gold, when the time's right, and the time's right. I mean, with the stress in the financial system we got right now, let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. Aren't doing very good, doing very poorly, and, we're looking at 179 billion total market cap for the industry. Bitcoin dominance is 67.6%, and a price of $66.96 for Bitcoin. All the coins are down today. We're looking at Litecoin at only $38. What's the cause? What's the reason? Right here, cryptos continue to collapse overnight after a Chinese scammer liquidates. They're liquidating, and evidently this is a guy right here, evidently. The biggest scam, it says. It's a lot of money. It says a fraud scheme that duped investors of more than $2 billion. They're dumping huge Bitcoin stockpiles from its anonymous accounts, according to, they're just dumping. They're dumping these coins into the market, and it's having a devastating effect upon the cryptocurrency price, because when Bitcoin moves down, all the cryptocurrencies move down. This might be creating a buying opportunity, because these coins could bounce back in price after this is over. Bitcoin's been through so many of these scandals after scandals, going all the way back to Mt. Gox, which was the worst. I mean, so many investors lost their money at Mt. Gox. Take a look at the Dow Jones today. And this is where they're all being herded into this market. And it continues to rise. Today, up 30 points today so far. So that's just a mild day compared to how it's been rising. 200-300 points a day. 28,298 today. Heading for 30,000, boys. As long as the plumbing is backing up and the pipes doesn't, this is fine. This is like, picture the apartment building again, and some woman's in there cooking spaghetti, and she's paying no attention to the plumbing until all of a sudden she hears her toilet gurgling in the bathroom. Well, that's what's going on here. Everybody's into the stock market, not paying any attention. The plumbing's clogged in the financial system. Not paying any attention to that until the water starts spilling out of the toilet on the floor. And all of a sudden the health inspector says, you got to get out of the building. She says, my spaghetti. What am I going to do with it? He says, you can't eat that spaghetti. The the toilets are all overflowed. You got to get out of here before you catch something. So the spaghetti, she turns the burner off and leaves the building. Well, here's the stock market right here. If the plumbing overflows, it's like the spaghetti. It's just going to get left on the burner. They're all going to flood into gold and silver. That's it, Let's take a look here at oil prices today. Down 46 cents. Almost 1%. $60.48 today. So oil's cooling down just a little bit. Oil's a precious commodity. We have an oil-based economy. We use a set amount of oil every day. 93 million barrels of oil a day. Right? We get a little bit more than 93 million barrels a day coming in world production. We get an inventory build and the price of oil goes down. We get the opposite of that, where if we don't get enough coming in every day, then it's very sensitive. That mechanism is very sensitive. the world uses exactly 93 million barrels a day, and if they provide 93 million barrels a day, we get price stability. It's a very, very sensitive mechanism. U.S. Treasuries today. We're looking at the long end of the yield curve rising a little bit and the short end of the yield curve falling. But today is an inconsequential day in Treasuries because we're not seeing big movements in either direction. We're only seeing not even 1 basis point, 0.9 of 1 basis point. So Treasuries aren't doing much today so far. Let's take a look now at the dollar. Dollar's rising just a little bit. Now it's starting to fall back a little bit. 97.37. Dollar's staying amazingly strong considering what's going on. But what's it being compared against? The euro's the biggest part of what's being compared against. Do you have any idea the problems that are coming to the European Union and the euro? The euro was constructed wrong to begin with. So, it's like a house that's not built properly. That's what the euro's like, and that's what the dollar's being compared against. Let's take a look now. Well, we've got every subject covered. Thank you guys for listening to the show. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye, and have a great day, guys.